fixing bayonets are actually going to get involved now.
We've spent the last 3 weeks on the front line with British troops in Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
Hey, that's... Get down, get down, get down.
We've been on numerous operations in that time. The last was with the Royal Irish Regiment and the Afghan National Army. We've witnessed the impact of 21st century warfare at close quarters.
Shrapnel. Oh, there you go.
Now I'm about to head back out with Delta Company for the last time as they attempt to set up a patrol base in the northern part of the Green Zone.
Man down! Man down, man down!
We need a medic up on the roof.
I'm with Delta Company 5 SCOTS in Musakala. They're 3/4 of the way through their 6-month tour. But at the end of this operation, I'll be going home.
Well, this looks like it's going to be our last operation with 5 SCOTS, trying out what it would be like for a patrol base north inside the Green Zone. This has been tried before, basically just get into this compound, fortify it, and then take patrols out. It's very much tethered goat theory again. We go up there, make a lot of noise, get into the compounds and see what happens.
Good morning, Bruce. And how are you this fine morning? Raring to go. Raring to go. Mastiffs again, heading up the Musakala Wadi. We're going north for 4 Ks. They're going to attempt to set up a new patrolling base and operate out of it for 2 days. If they think they can build one up there, then they're going to try to build one. But this is basically a test run to see how much incoming it gets and how badly the Taliban react to it.
Musakala is protected from enemy attack by a ring of patrol bases. This is the first time they've ever attempted to establish a foothold in the northern part of the Green Zone, the heart of enemy territory. To get there, the company are travelling north to a drop-off point at the edge of the Wadi. Because of the risk of IEDs, it's taken us 1 hour to travel 4 kilometres.
Do you think the Taliban know that we're already here?
I would be very surprised if they hadn't seen us leaving the front gate of camp. So there's probably somebody on a motorbike somewhere or somebody out on the ground with a communication system telling commanders where we are and what we're doing.
So the door's open. Cheers, mate.
Right, let's move out.
We're dangerously exposed as we cross the open ground. Soldiers listening to Taliban radio traffic called ICOM chatter have heard we're in the Taliban's sights.
0 Alpha, roger. Just waiting for 3-0 call signs to drop off. Once they're secure at the drop-off point, we'll now head off.
Beware, can you get the Maverick call signs from my OC? We need to sort the comms out.
Or just tell them if they've refilled their radio with a new fill, all of our radios are not on a new fill. We don't have that new fill.
There's a problem with the radios.
They're going to send it to QRF with the new fill. Will it remain here?
I'm pretty unhappy with that, actually. That means we're static at this location. We tell them we'll push down south and we'll give them an RV. In fact, tell them to fuck off.
Yes, sir.
Tell them to fuck off and sort out. Do they know how long it takes to refill fucking 30 radios?
Do you want to use those as acronyms? Well, yeah,
not.
There we go.
We're now under attack. The longer we remain static, the more vulnerable we are. The Taliban have zeroed in on our position with mortars. We need to find cover urgently.
We're making our way steadily now up to these compounds. However, there is a big problem with the radios. And hopefully when we get to the compounds and lay up, we'll be able to sort that problem out.
This area has seen a lot of fighting over the last few weeks, so most of the compounds are deserted.
So, Nick, what's the score?
We've got a platoon up there at the moment, providing a bit of security up to the north, and then this call sign and the one behind it, and they're going to insert into their compounds.
There's a risk that the Taliban have left booby traps or are lying in wait.
Obviously, the guys need to check the rooms to see if there's anybody here also, if there are any booby traps, many IEDs. And what the guys are now doing are trying to make sure they've got arcs on the roof, put some kind of protection around themselves so that they can fire from relative safety should they be attacked.
Directly west there's a big tree line, only get 50 to 100 metres. On the eastern side there's a fucking run right up there, get about 200, 300 metres.
Zero Alpha, I'm happy that 6-9's got pretty good arcs from this location. I don't think it's going to be big enough for two call signs, so you're going to have to move in to co-locate yourself with 3-0 in compound 67667.
D Company is split into 3 platoons based in neighbouring compounds. 2-0 are in compound 69, 1-0 are in compound 66, and 3-0 are in compound 67. They're acting as bait, hoping the enemy will open fire and give away their location.
I think a lot of people will find it hard to understand just how close the enemy are here. How close have some of the contacts been?
Well, certainly some of the ones that you were involved in the other day, that was down to 30 metres probably tops. So it literally is in this ground. Going around the corner of a building, getting to a gap of a maize field, and there they are shooting at you. So yeah, very close, very exciting.
How many injuries have you had so far? Can you count?
We've had 5 battlefield injuries. Getting wounded on the battlefield is all about 90% professionalism, doing your job the best you can, getting into cover and all those sort of things. And there's that 10% luck piece. And unfortunately, we've been lucky in that we've only had 5. We could have had a lot more.
But you personally, how much have you missed Jenny, your wife, and you've got 3 kids?
Yes, I have, yeah. Darcy, who's 6, little girl. I've got William, who's 4, and I've got Imogen, who's 1. When you think about your family, it can be pretty depressing, and all you want to do is just be back with them and looking after them. And every day, I think about my family, have a quick look at the photographs that I've got, and then, park it away.
A separate unit has accompanied Delta to encourage the Taliban to give away their position.
Zoe, thanks for agreeing to talk to us. We're in a compound in enemy territory, and you and your cohorts are just about to put a loudspeaker on, aren't you?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the point of that is?
We're going to say messages over the loudspeaker to the Taliban, basically. Either come and fight us if you think you're hard enough, go home, if you're going to fight us, we're going to beat you.
In an operation like now, where we're trying to establish enemy force numbers, dispositions and locations, this is a good way of goading them.
It's bait. It's bait. She uses bait.
Essentially,
yeah, taunting. Yeah.
It's taunting.
Yeah.
And does it normally work? Does it normally taunt them?
Yeah,
Always.
especially when we get the pipes on.
It's not as if they're scared of fighting, is it? They are going to fight, and they are going to make contact probably
That's what we
with
want
us.
us to.
No, but we're already here in a situation where they're going to make contact with us. Does it help by goading them further on?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
How?
definitely.
It's more specific. For example, where we are right now, we don't know exactly where the Taliban are, and we're encouraging them to open fire on us so we can see where their positions are. And we've got teams going out who will then be able to outflank.
But isn't it highly sensitive, Zoe, to be doing this during a time of Ramadan?
Well, you kind of have to be a bit culturally sensitive.
If it did interrupt the call to prayer, it's not a huge issue. People are generally quite flexible out here.
You see that? RPG. No.
I'm firing.
We started goading the Taliban
Let's see if we can get someone.
half a minute ago,
LG.
and consequently there's been small arms fire and RPGs coming over the compound. So the "are you think you're hard enough" approach seems to actually get a reaction, funnily enough.
Where was it coming in?
Didn't see the RPG firing point, but sound certainly came from that direction, the clearing, in line with these 2 telegraph poles.
There's been small arms fire and an RPG fired over the compound. The guys at the moment, Joe's down there trying to work out exactly where he came from.
104, his RPG was fired from the track to the north to the west-hand side of the track.
Right, Slaven. Yeah, can you go and tell the sound commanders to continue with sound commanding?
You have to fire. Continue with the sound commander.
Doesn't work. We've got a slight problem with the machine now, it's broken. So they're trying to fix it.
We're actually going back to playing off an iPod at the minute because that cable's knackered.
Oh, right. So we're going for an iPod now then, yeah? To get some bagpipe music?
Yeah.
Cancel, I've got it. I'm such a fucking idiot. Here we go.
Not our finest hour, in many ways.
We've got eyes on a potential firing point in compound 9-4, then we'll be engaging that with mortars, over.
He's got mortars teed up. Just 9495.
81mm mortars have been called in from Roshan Tower to target the enemy, but this is not without risk.
0 Alpha, roger. They've left the compound manning positions. Roger out.
The problem is we already have one of the call signs out on the ground doing a patrol, so they have to make sure definitely they know where 10 is before they launch those mortars. And the worry is that, you know, we could call in friendly fire, have a blue on blue situation. That's our roof, yeah? We're engaging. What you got, mate?
All right. 100 metres, you've got a collapsed wall with a tree hanging over it.
Yeah, just there, yeah.
That was the firing point.
So just there, yeah?
Yeah, just there, yeah. We'll just keep an eyes on here over onto the wall with the LMG gunner at the minute.
Yeah, and that's Pollock who can shoot.
That's right.
Man down! Man down!
We need a medic up on the roof and we need more firepower. We need another gunner. Good, Pollock. Ready! Okay, we need a medic.
Man down! Boys, we need a medic up here!
Where is it, Ross? Where is it?
Up there, mate!
You got him, Bob. Where is it?
Enemy! Enemy! Coming through the tree! 200 metres!
We've still got shots coming in. I think we're going to run out of tape. Enemy just there. Got a man taking around to his arm. I think it might be Pollock, I hope not. We're trying to reload the Minimi now, and they're covering fire with the SA-80.
Pollock receives emergency treatment and a shot of morphine from the field medic.
How are you feeling, mate?
Wee bit sore in the arm. I guess that'll be the ricochet. But yeah.
You take a ricochet to your left arm, yeah?
Yep.
Andy, could you give us a sit rep, mate, if you know you've dealt with him?
Basically, mechanism injury, obviously the gunshot wound to his left forearm and things. It's a ricochet. There's 3 ricochet bits that's come off, obviously, where the rounds either hit the wall. And it's one underneath, one on top, one around. He's got full range of movement in the fingers as well. He's got a good capillary refill, basically meaning the blood's getting able to go back and forward. We put the IV access so we can get fluids into him and get if anything does go wrong or anything happens. Because he's walking wounded, everything's fine about him, okay? His airway's clear, his breathing's good, circulation, he's got a radial pulse in there. Yeah, still got a radial pulse. That's pretty much treatment given, first field dressings, and that's it.
So, Mr. Pollock, you feel like a lucky man at the moment?
Fucking do I?
Yeah? Yeah.
I didn't even realise. I first fired about 100 rounds.
Yeah, no, we were behind you, mate. Well done, you did a fantastic job.
I first met Pollock after he'd shot 2 Taliban on our last operation in this area.
Raised a weapon as I was running, pointed at me, so I was right up on the shoulder, and fired a burst. And then I seen 2 of them fall, so I'm the closest one. He was still screaming, and I seen him raise his weapon, looked like he was going to take a shot, so I shot him again, and I didn't move from then on.
You got 2 confirmed kills?
Yep, I believe so.
Right, let's go. Let's go, Wally. Good luck. You're ready to stay in Westball? Yeah.
Those guys now are going to escort Pollock down to the wadi where he'll be medevaced by a Mastiff. So those guys are now going out on the ground. We're still in the compound, which is basically the jam in the jar, and we're still attracting a lot of wasps. So contact will carry on now. It's only 25+5. It doesn't get dark now for another 2 hours.
We know the Taliban are located in and around Compound 71. As a section from 2-0 take Pollock down to the wadi, the rest of 2-0 give covering fire.
John, wait behind me, yeah? Stay there. Now. Well done, John.
Hammy, you're gonna get some mortars on this in a minute, okay? I'm gonna get clearance to get some mortars on this, all right? We're gonna get mortars on this, 81. Okay, stand by. Okay. Jesus.
So he's now calling in some 81 mortars into where the enemy were attacking, which was just the front of us.
Make the OC aware that these rounds are going to be 300 metres from our location and 500 metres from 1-0's location. 18 mortars coming in.
Mortars coming in, and they're going to come in really close. There we go.
There we go, happy. Yeah, that's good, Hammy. I've got eyes on. 2-1-3, please.
Just when we thought the contact was over, the loudspeaker starts up again.
Good. Hopefully they'll fire again.
Oh, great, John. I'm over fucking mood again.
A bit more exciting than expecting.
Yeah. So much for nothing happening, John.
Aiming point grid 65549-85362. Out.
We do a 5-9 or Roger.
Bruce is now getting into contact with the air. Air support.
They're in that area of the compound that you flattened the other day, 71.
This is the footage of Compound 71 being destroyed 2 weeks earlier.
F-18 en route, sir.
They're about to call in a strafing run, and the compound is approximately 50 metres away from us, which is close, very close.
A phosphorus grenade is launched to identify the target to the fighter pilot.
We do a 5-9 A-form. We're just going to launch another one into the location. Stand by.
Okay, fire that smoke. Yeah, perfect.
Fuck hell, that's close.
Just confirm to me, give me the rosy feeling that that's 71, yeah? Last thing I want is fucking anything coming anywhere near this.
Okay, 5-4 northy, so it's well away from us.
Bruce, how does he know not to come across us? Out of interest. Not to strafe across us. How does he know not to do that?
We're going to get him to come up south and north.
Right. Has he got eyes on us, mate?
Yeah, he knows who we are, yeah. So, guys, you need to get your head down when this comes in.
He's up there somewhere. Here he comes, I think.
We do a 5-9. You can just continue to get eyes into the area. I think you may have been looking in the wrong place.
That's really reassuring, isn't it?
Sorry, the pilot's just getting eyes on the location. I think he's got eyes on it now, but he's...
There he is there, mate.
Starting to get a bit confused. To be honest, sir, I'm close to calling it off.
Call it off. Call it off, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm happy to do that. I just want you to confirm to me that he's definitely going for 71.
A ground commander is requesting a show of force over that location. How copy?
Was a show of force, and if that was his gun line run, if he'd strafed it, he would have missed us and he would definitely have hit them, which is reassuring.
For the time being, the contact is over, but Delta Company must clean their weapons as they have to be ready to fight at all times.
In terms of how today's gone, how would you view it?
We certainly achieved what we came out to achieve, which was to get into a compound, to start dominating the area. And certainly the jet, they looked at one of the positions that we put some mortars into. They picked up 2 dead bodies, or 2 bodies in those locations, so there's been a success there as well.
The Taliban rarely attack at night, but Delta Company are ever vigilant.
See, there's some loom up there now. I don't know how bright that will be for you. The idea of putting the loom up is to light up a considerable part of the green zone. But in terms of letting them know where we are, apart from putting up a very, very large flag, I don't think there's any more that we can do, actually. I think we definitely know where we are, and I think tomorrow will be a very interesting morning.
So far, the operation has been deemed a success, as Delta Company have held the compound and claimed the lives of 2 enemy fighters.
It's now 5:20. Yeah. We're just about to go out on a patrol from Compound 69. We're going to go out in a U shape. We're going to head east, then head north, which is very much into enemy's territory again, then come back. And we're going to check out where the fire positions were yesterday that attacked us and see if those 2 bodies that were seen by the aircraft have been removed. So we should be out for around about an hour and a half, but, you know, if we get into contact, which is more than likely, then we could be out longer. We'll just have to wait and see.
Delta are accompanied by the Afghan National Police, as their local knowledge is invaluable, and they also have powers of arrest, which ISAF troops do not. The remit is to win hearts and minds, and though Delta Company would love to stop and chat, unfortunately, there's always the threat of a suicide bomber.
There are civvies working in the fields over there, and some of the guys have got their SATCO sights on them, just checking them out. That's the hard thing again, you know. They're working in the field 1 minute, and then they've got a bale of straw beside them, and inside that's a weapon system. That said, it is rather early yet for the Taliban to be up and moving, but no doubt before the end of the patrol we'll probably bump into them, or they'll bump into us.
I've got to do a compound clearance. Get you straight up, mate. Alright?
It's just behind point now.
Though I didn't know it, I was about to encounter the famous Afghan warrior spirit.
What was that? They've covered the women, so that's okay for Ask infidels to go in there.
Okay, everybody get outside. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, get out. Thermostats, thank you very much. We just needed to check.
After 3 hours, we arrive in Compound 71. It's deserted. As their religion requires, the Taliban have already removed the 2 dead fighters.
We're back now into Compound 69 to wait and see what the Taliban has on the agenda for the rest of the day. But I myself am going in and we're going to try and get some hot food inside us and have a little rest before it all starts all over again.
During a rare moment of downtime, I'm invited to tea with a local AMP officer.
Can you tell me where you guys are from? Is it not dangerous for them if they live here with their families? Your compound is where the Taliban is? Can you get to see them though?
Yeah, no.
And how long has he not seen them? Tell him I hope he sees his family very soon. How long has he been with the police? Does he hope someday that it will just be the AMP and the ANA and that the ISAF forces will be gone from his country? I mean, understandably, the Afghan people should control the Afghan state, surely. When he says his neighbours, who is he referring to? And they come here, he knows that, he has proof. The Taliban that are in his village, are they Taliban from Afghanistan?
Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Iran, Chechnya خلق لاستاوس. أيو غرزي سلي لك باكستاني، كيراني، يا أوزبكستان ولا، يا تشيشنيا ولا. تأخذ قلبي أنا خوش دينه. أفغانستان شكر إلى ديرش كذا ده خلق الله سلام.
Does he think that they will be defeated in this area?
إن شاء الله خوريه. وخلق وسط بكويرج ده الدولة دشمنان. دوستاني ندي. مكتب سويدي وبازار سويدي وخلق ويش إنه ديسر سوكت. كينور نادي بسلوكي أتيا برا وشتي دين. Taliban سركار نكينا.
How do they live inside the village? Do they dominate it, or do they just keep themselves to themselves?
No, they بس يخدع دي ده بقدودي دي بدولة تايلة يارس شكيا كويس. يا خنو ده خلق دي شغا أفغانستان تغلدي.
Why are they popular if they take money from people?
غلدي. ده شام.
Can you tell me what he thinks of the Taliban as warriors, as fighters?
يا تكلخن دي نام دي ماشي بس نبوتن كي شو قولي نور ما كم يخدع دي بس شان زي واسي دو يزغلي نو قدرت نلري ده جنگ توان نلري ما زداست
Cool.
ده طالبان مشنا.
You got shot 13 times?
ده
Cool.
Yes. ده بيخدلته ده was a stretch was so.
That must have hurt stomach, very painful.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, was it? But that's the way the memory goes. That's the portake.
Ah, shh. You see there? He's lost all his shoulder there. He laugh. Tough people. You're a tough people. Very brutal, huh?
I was grateful for the hospitality and for this rare insight into how some Afghans view this conflict. It's been a relatively quiet morning, but our moment of relaxation was about to be shattered.
We were just dozing off. An RPG has just come over the compound. According to ICOM chatter from the captain, they're about to fire another one. So we'll see what happens next. They definitely know where we are. So the game is afoot, as they say.
Some new information has come over the ICOM.
We've just heard that they don't want to fire the other one until we come out, which to me suggests they haven't got very many if they're not willing to fire it. But it sounded like it came from over there across us.
There's a suspicion that the RPG attack came from a Taliban scout.
Yeah, exactly that motorbike we had.
Yeah.
Probably a dicker. And they went away, got firing.
غورته وای خو مشته معلومه مش کم یو واردی د زر وارد اس پیښته کرای فسلی په موټر ګټ خواستي تاسو معلومات یو کده چا په سرای کې
خپل طالب راځي که هغه راځي
نه طالب خپل هم راځي بلاداس سره روان شي د وطن سره یا د وطن سره راوستي نه
We hit the motorbike again and he goes by the door. They can get out quickly and arrest him.
وای نو تاسو ماته به اوسه کنه چې راځي کنه هغه نسین
خو سید زه ته خپل پیدا ته چې نه پرځشتیر بس ته دري.
Several hours later, the ANP stop a suspected Taliban scout or dicker just outside the compound.
He's got some names that they're not happy with on his phone. So there's key names that they use of Taliban leaders, such as Dorjan.
He's a dicker, yeah?
Yeah, they reckon he's a dicker. He's nothing on his bike, it's just his name. Just what they sometimes do is they send people here just to scatter around and look innocent, no icon or anything, and then they go back further up and report to sort of Taliban contacts.
Right.
So ANP issue, if the ANP feels suspicious or anything like that, they do the arresting and stuff.
Right, okay.
Just to protect them.
The police will take the suspect to Koka, the head of the ANP in Musakala.
Yeah, so he's just been sent by a Taliban down on his motorcycle to... Can I ask how he knows? How does he know?
برای پلانکای داسې ورواستو چې د پلانکو جوړو بغل ورواخي ورسې حالت د دې معلومات به کې دې په کوم ځای کې دي.
The Taliban have just sent a motorcycle guy down. What's he saying now though?
But he says I'm not Talib, I'm not
تا به ګر دنیا پیژنې که ته طالب نه وي خو بش په دې برخه لایله
زه دغه وایم خو ما چې اره وته مې ورولې اره
ورولم دي کوکات
If you are not Taliban, then we will release you.
There is evidence on his phone connecting him to the Taliban.
تو ساي دا فلنداري د چی څه کړی دا د مړو څه ده ورته وګور خو هغه د وسنګر نه نشته دا
خو ای په دا بازار دغه ته وګوره کنه یا مې دا وسپینه ور ډاکټري ځای
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll put this in front of Koka and the NDS. Detaining for investigation.
موږ د په تلاشي کې دا یو ټلیفون ځنه اخیستې بل شي نشته ویلي.
The next day, after no further contact, the Mastiffs are called up to take us back to Musakala.
The Mastiffs are just turning up now onto the wadi. Obviously this is critical time. We've had ICOM chatter that the Taliban have ID'd the Mastiffs. It's not difficult, they make a bit of a noise. And they've ID'd troops, dismounted troops on the ground. So we'll wait to see. It takes some time to get, this amount of men out of the green zone into the wadi. Our prisoners just about to be taken. Just to wait and see if the Taliban are up for it or not.
The suspect is placed under guard and driven back by the ANP. After further investigation, he was released without charge.
That's us safely back in Musakala, DC, I have to say. Very happy to be home. Very happy indeed.
This is my last night with Delta Company. Before I leave, I have one last chance to talk to the brave men of 5 Scots.
Home beckons. Thank God you've not had any fatalities. You've had some injuries.
I was expecting to, I don't know, perhaps finish the tour maybe with, 10 people wounded and maybe 1 or 2 dead or something like that. So it sounds terrible sort of thinking about these things, but I think we all sort of accepted that there was the potential, very high chance that somebody would die from this company on the tour. We've still got another 50 days to go. It certainly isn't over by any stretch of the imagination.
You've lived on such kind of a knife edge, as it were, for the last 6 months, particularly since you've been in Musakala. Suddenly you go back to family life. Isn't it going to be some kind of anticlimax for a lot of people?
You very quickly click back into the routine of family life, in my case being a father and doing normal civilian things like going shopping and going to Tesco's and all that sort of stuff.
But if someone bumps into you in Tesco's with his trolley and hits you in the back of the legs and doesn't say, excuse me, I was sorry, excuse me, 1 minute someone's shooting at you, ain't going to turn around and want to wallop him one. I mean...
It's because you've been here getting shot at. When you go back there, wee things like that, I think, don't bother you, because
you've seen a
it's
bigger picture.
Insignificant. It's you're like, God, that's nothing. It's trivial, nothing. But I'm not getting worried about something stupid like that.
Is there anything that's frustrated you more than anything else?
Too much in the papers and whatnot, on the negative sides. You see the stories, the lack of coming into light choppers, the lack of that. And maybe not so much on the schools being built, the people starting to come back to the bazaar. That's the scenario. And maybe it's just, it makes better stories or something for another hit of the government.
Well, all I can say is thank you very much for looking after us, basically, keeping us alive, for one thing, but also being fantastic hosts and allowing us into your family, which is a very close one, and letting us be a part of it. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, honestly, and I look forward to your safe return.
It's my last day in Musakala, but before I go home, I want to find out how Private Pollock is getting on.
Now, how is your arm?
Yes, 27 stitches.
You are very lucky.
That could have been in my neck. If it was half a centimetre.
And if it had gone in the neck, mate, it would have been very hard to get you out where we were.
Yep.
What was going through your mind when they're around here?
Well, at first I heard the round come in, seen the bang of it and stuff, hit my weapon, and initially I just thought it missed me, but then I felt the burning in my arm, so I was like, looked at my arm, it's all bleeding and cut open. Yeah. But my initial thoughts were just, someone needs to fire back, or more casualties possibly, so got back up in the gun and started firing again.
So, looking forward to getting home though, yeah?
Definitely, without a doubt.
So what's the first thing you can do when you get home?
Hug my girlfriend, hug my mum.
Just before I leave, I'm given the honour of joining Delta for its company photograph.
Right, lads, all that's going to happen now is we're going to get ourselves sorted out into the fucking picture. First of all, the back rank, about turn face of Hesco, directly into the centre where young fucking Cooper is. Fucking air trooper that got a haircut this morning. Get that weapon down a bit before I fucking lock you up. That's good, that's good. Put the foo on this side, sir. You can't have the two bum thumbs fucking getting it all fucking on. Right, perfect, yeah. Just in here, mate. Right, troops, keep your eyes down. The weapon systems in the patrol position and look at the fucking camera.
It's a reminder of a memorable time spent with some exceptional men. As I leave Afghanistan, my thoughts turn to how much has changed in the last 12 months.
The soldiers seem more settled on the ground than they did last year, and they clearly have a better working relationship with the Afghan National Army and the Afghan National Police, both on and off the battlefield. However, there are still significant differences, both cultural and religious, between the ISAF forces here and the locals.
What's not lost on me is that Delta Company have 5 more weeks to push on one of the most dangerous front lines in the world. I can only hope that their bravery, dedication and professionalism will keep them safe until the end of their tour.
Just over 6.5 months ago, the men of Delta Company 5 Scots left here, Howe Barracks in Canterbury, Kent, for Afghanistan. Well, we're just about to join their family and friends who've been counting down the days for this very moment, because in the next 20 minutes, the coaches containing the men of 5 Scots are about to arrive in the square just over to my right. So, you've been counting the days?
I'm counting the days. We've got there, though. It seems like today would never come, but we're here. And yeah, really, really nice. This is William.
Hello, William. How are you?
And this is Darcy.
Are you looking forward to seeing him?
Very excited.
Yeah.
Darcy had a little abacus by her bed.
Oh, she's
and
pushing
every morning
she's pushing them across.
Yeah. So this morning there was great excitement when there wasn't any more beads left, and that was quite sweet. So yeah, it's good. Good, happy day, as Nick would say.
Yeah,
happy day.
happy days. Oh. Do you understand where Daddy's been?
Yeah. Sometimes she come home and she was asking, is my dad going to come home alive? And you don't know what to say to them.
Did she actually ask that question?
I just didn't know what to say. I started crying.
Anyway, here they are. They're here.
Right, come on, sorry.
There's Nick. There's Nick. What's it like?
Really good to be home. So
nice.
Just so happy.
What's it like to see her? What's it like to see her?
She's changed massively, obviously since the last time I seen her.
Yeah.
But aye, it's awesome. Awesome, really awesome. Mwah.
How do you feel now? I mean, relieved?
Yeah,
obviously.
it feels really good. I mean, I don't know, I suppose it'll take a couple of days to sort of sink in.
You happy?
You happy, William? Daddy's back home, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Nick, it's fantastic to see you in one piece, mate. It really is.
Thanks very much
and
indeed.
all the guys back safely.
Yeah, good. No, it's awesome. Can't ask for anything else. That's the most important thing to me, is getting everybody back alive. Happy days.
In the final programme, I returned to Afghanistan, to its capital, Kabul, to try to understand the bigger picture. And I revisit Kajaki, where for the first time, I join the Royal Marines.
Here he goes. Whoa!
2, 1 went in, incoming, straight over us. Got an eye.
Stay on the track! Here, the enemy have increased the use of explosive devices.
You can see there's the explosive.
And I witness firsthand the devastating effect this has on people's lives.
We gather here this morning to pay our respects, to say our goodbyes